Hey everybody, welcome to week 2 of BA315, and so I hope everybody's doing good and everything. I usually have scenery up here, so I got scenery up today, but this is local scenery. Um, Depending on where you're at, you may have experienced this ice storm out here in St. Louis. You know, we had the ice storm thing, so this is just some pretty scenery out the back window. So there you go. Inspiration stuff. Um, I always try to, because I know we all have different things that go on in our lives, between family and commitments, all that stuff, and their struggles, and some things I say may not even apply to you, depending on your situation. But I always want to try and make sure to keep everybody motivated, positive mind, positive life, and you can't do that with the negative mindset. Um, Things with school sometimes it's part of life. We're supposed to try and enjoy it, have that positive mindset. um, Stay strong even when it feels like everything's falling apart type stuff. But thing on school, I harp on it a lot, and I know that. But you're supposed to be enjoying school and learning school, not doing stuff. And by doing stuff, I mean, oh, Sunday you do stuff. You're not learning. You're just going through the motions of not learning. And there's some that this applies to, and there's some that don't. But the thing is, you're supposed to be enjoying enjoying what you're doing and doing it because you want to do it, not because it's something you have to do. So that's the other thing. A little bit more on inspiration. I found a video the other day on YouTube, and I don't know, regardless of your music preference, but I found this one kind of inspirational. When you go on YouTube, you can look for One Republic There I Lived, and that's kind of the one I'm talking about. It starts out first. At first, I thought it wasn't a video because it had scenery and a kid talking about cystic fibrosis. But a very good video, very good message in it about living life and doing as much as you could. And so I kind of like this as a theme song for right now. I also post on my Facebook page if you can't find it. If you find my Facebook page, that's me, Warren, there, St. Louis. You can scroll down 3 or 4, and that particular video is there. And also the scenery. So, and then also if you're interested in various charities, this is one of the organizations I kind of support, try to support. So, anyway, so there you go on that. And so there for the inspiration, though. That's a good video if you want to be a little bit inspired. So, all right, and into the course room. Last week, discussion. Those of you that were in there, very, very good on the discussions. Homework, same thing. Those homeworks I've seen, good job on those. If you had some errors, I'll send them back to you. And if you're having problems with some of these homeworks, just submit it. One of the things I do is, you may not get max points, but if you're doing really bad that you're going to fail the homework, then I'll send it back to you. To redo it. So don't worry about, getting it done that way. So the upcoming week here, we got you got 3 chapters. Has to do with measuring financial performance, and then the chapter 5 is about evaluating. So that you measure, you evaluate. There's different ways of doing that. And then on the last chapter here, we got planning, short-term, long-term. Now, those of you, you know about me, after the Army, I went to Domino's, did that for corporations, and had my own for a little while. So one of the things there, there's different ways to evaluate. So this is just one of my spreadsheets I used to have, and it's just an example. It has all the different categories on the P&L and financial statements. These are different ways that you go about measuring. Financial statements. What's the interest in there, and then if you got multiple locations or units, you're gonna have broken down into like unit 1, store 2. And you got different ways. So this is just a snapshot here, but so there's different ways to measure performance, and so that's what these are. So again, the other thing is, you may not be in that, depending on what you plan on doing. If you're going to be an accountant, a financial person, one thing, you need to really, really know how to do this stuff. If you're going to be your own business one day, running a business for somebody, or some sort of management level where you do have financial responsibilities for that company. And these type of things you need to understand. I use analogies like the car mechanic and my other videos, depending if you're in both classes, same thing. You know enough to know that there's something wrong with the car, okay? The mechanic, or the accountant, fixes it for you, for example. You need to understand enough to recognize that there's something wrong or something ain't right. And so those are the type of things. Just like when I was showing you those P&L, those financial things and everything. When you go in, when you review these things, like if you got multiple stores, multiple locations, when I was doing the corporate stores, I'd have stuff like this, but it would go across 10, 15 different stores. But believe me, when you look at it and you just scan over it, things will jump out at you. There'll be a number that will just jump, poof, there's something wrong there. And so you have to know enough to understand how to read these things, and, understand how it works so you can identify a problem and not just let something keep on going. If you look at history, financial crises in the U.S., even things like the bubble, 2008 thing, there was identifiers that showed that, hey, there's something wrong. Some people chose to ignore it. Others, ironically, it's a little ironically, I remember back in that period, even before that happened, seeing Senator McCain, who ran for president too, but he gave a little spiel predicting what would happen if certain things were done. And so those certain things were done, like the allowing, like mortgages to be, standards for mortgages to be lowered where anybody could get a mortgage. Here, this guy stood there and predicted it. I mean, so it's funny how things turn out in a bad way, but where even though when people tell you, hey, if you do this and this is what's going to happen, and sure enough, you do this and this, that's what happened. So it could have been prevented, but same thing with like auto manufacturers like GM and things. When I was doing my MBA, now this is back in 2008, 2010, our project was General Motors. And again, we looked at those financial, statements, and it's like, wow, these guys they're going to go under because they're, and sure enough, they ended up having to get bailed out. So it's all there. You have to know how to recognize it, and then the leaders of these companies have to know to recognize it and do something about it before it's too late. So, okay, so enough of my rambling on about that, but that's just, the example. So, all right, so we did the okay, so week 2, the discussion coming up will be about, all right, crucial part of ventures life cycles. So again, that's in the chapter, the life cycles. Just see how that works, and then the homework should be the similar homework setup. Right there. All right. Okay, so you go ahead and you open up the Word file, and you'll get your homeworks there. So I got my double screen over here, but anyway, so same thing. There you go. So just when you go in there, you should, be able to get your homework. So all right, I think it's freezing up here on me. Okay, there we go. All right, so for the most part, I think that is it, and just checking here. I don't think. I'm just looking to see if you have a project. I don't think you had a project, no. So, all right. Anyway, okay. So there you go. That should be pretty much it. Again, if you need a little, some inspiration, a YouTube video, or you can find it on my Facebook page. And then, the only last thing here will be my test question. So here's my test question for you, 2 grandmen. Aside from the cuteness and everything, and the grandparenting thing here, but what are they sitting in? So just let me know what you see there, and that way I know you watched the video. All right, everybody. So with that, I'm going to let you go. And if you need anything, as always, get in touch, and that'll do it. Take care, everybody. Have a great week.